Science literacy is a vital part and will continue to be a vital part in our interconnected, growing society and world. And oh boy, 2020 and 2021 has definitely shown us why science literacy is important. But what is this science literacy that I speak of, you may ask? Don't worry, I've got you. Science literacy can be broken into two parts. But before we get to the two parts, firstly we need to understand that the world around us and the world within us is governed by a myriad of scientific principles and laws that interconnect to create everything that we see and interact with on a day-to-day basis. And the first part of science literacy is the ability to understand the fundamentals of how everything works and the fundamentals of how everything is connected. To understand the fundamentals, you don't need to have the knowledge of how everything works. No. Knowledge is great, but understanding is better. It's like this. If you have a car, you may understand how the car works. Understand where to put the petrol in, understand how the steering wheel works, understand how generally the car works, and you may have some knowledge surrounding the car. But you may not know every single intricacies of how that car was made, all the different parts. You may not know it. But that understanding that you have of the car can help you make better decisions in how to use that car. That's why we have things like Google and informational books. They can help us with the missing knowledge that we need. But understanding, we have to build that. This brings me to the second point of science literacy. This is the ability to ask the right questions. So, when you're being presented with new data, new information, you need to have the ability to ask questions such as, what are the variables that we are speaking of right now? What are the variables? You need to be able to break things up to its variables. Why was the study conducted? What was the hypothesis? When was it conducted? We need to understand that you may be interacting with an old piece of information. It could be updates in whatever you are interacting with. Where was it conducted? How does this piece of information contextually affect me? And how do I affect this piece of information? Context. Asking these questions help to build your framework of understanding. And as your framework of understanding builds, it feeds into the first process, the understanding process. And the understanding process, the more you understand, the more precise and concise your questioning becomes. And as the answers are being revealed, you'll be able to make decisions, sound decisions in reality. And this is why science literacy is important. As the world is becoming more understanding the need for STEM, we need to be able to become more scientifically literate so we can maneuver through all the falsehoods that may arise. To simply put it, science literacy may help you become foolproof. Anyway, I've got a dash, guys. Remember, knowledge is power, and let the world around you be your oyster.